Yo, what up, Vinny? What up? Hi, I'm Phil. Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking.
Pretty good.
Weeknight edition. It was all used to be normal edition. Now it's not. Tonight on the show, I'm gonna make shrimp and garlic noodle, which is a beloved kind of like catch-all name for really garlicky Asian-style noodles we will be serving with shrimp. I am going to tonight do what I often do, which is I read like a half dozen recipes and I blend them all together in my head, and whatever comes out hopefully is edible. I did some food prep, which is I put a pot of water on the stove to boil. And you can see it's boiling. Look at all that time we saved. So tonight we're gonna use Italian bucatini. It's fusion. Any noodles are fine. Probably egg noodles would be the most common, but you could use spaghetti. It's okay. I like bucatini. It's got that hole in the middle for the sauce, and it's thick, like your mama. Courtney's home, so I don't know if she appreciated me saying that. She doesn't know I've been saying that for years.
She's never watched the show.
That's right. All right, here's our one pound of pasta. She watches the show quite a bit. And I'm gonna work that pasta into the water.
With his hands.
No. But yes, with my hands via these tongs. For without my hands, the tongs would be useless. Nor would they be capable of working that pasta into the water. Okay, my pasta is in the water. I probably should have looked at the recommendations for how long to cook it, but we'll start with 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, oh, here's the package. I didn't even throw it away. Cook 9 to 10 minutes. It'll be al dente. We need the shrimp, and we're gonna cook things in a particular order to maximize the quality of the each ingredient's cooking experience, but also I'm gonna make a lot of food tonight, for I am very hungry. Everyone else is probably also very hungry. So when that's the case, it kind of makes sense to cook things one thing at a time. So I got 2 pounds of shrimp. Shrimp's so nice that you can just thaw it so quickly. Thanks, shrimp, for all you do. It's like such a convenience food, like compared to other proteins that you might freeze. So I'm just gonna be over here de-icing the shrimp briefly. I had it out thawing for a little bit, so we'll be right back. Okay, I'm cooking in my big non-stick skillet today. We're gonna get that heated up. We're gonna put butter in it. That's right, butter. Butter tastes good. Butter-free. This dish is not butter-free, for it is neither a Pokemon, nor does it lack butter. Oh, that's a double entendre. It's not. All right, my shrimp are thawed enough. You know, the pan, it might be tastier. Oh boy, I'm alright. Now I've got the foresight that I'm not gonna be able to fit everything in the pan, but I'll make it work. Don't worry. You could like let the pan get hot and sear the shrimp, but I don't think that tastes particularly good. So I'm just gonna cook them normally. I'm salting the shrimp. I don't know if I told you guys, but Vinny's the vice president of dishwashing in our house. Like he's over here at the dishwasher saying, "Y'all got any dishes that need washing? I can lick them for you if you need it." By the way, that is his canonical voice now, and he only talks in that accent. All right, so while those are cooking, we'll work on our vegetables. I got this huge red bell pepper. I picked the biggest one because they were sold by quantity rather than weight. I was like, I gotta maximize the amount of bell pepper I get. I actually think it might be too much bell pepper for one dish. I think I'm gonna save half of it.
Are you an economy man?
Yeah, I am an economy man. That's a good way of putting it. All right, so I'm gonna do a little slicey. And now that I'm thinking about it more, maybe it is an appropriate amount of bell pepper to do the whole thing. I don't know. We'll just do a little bit for color. So that goes over there. Got some green onions. Green onions. And what we're gonna do with these, we're gonna line up best we can the ends, give them a little trimming, and then we're gonna reserve the green part and just kind of rough chop the white end. Next up, I got some Bok Choi. And so we're gonna chop those up. I'm just gonna trim the bottom off. And actually, these are the kind of things if you got a preference for it, you can actually saute the whole thing as is. But I think it's nice to at least chop it a little bit. I think we're just gonna do a big rough chop. Check my pasta in the water. Pasta in the water. That noodle is demonstrating some rigidity. Some turgidity. Words are weird. Shrimp's taking forever because they fill up the whole damn pan. Yeah, that pasta needs a little bit more time. And I will comment that these vegetables look bulky, but I think they'll shrink down quite quickly, actually. And these guys are almost done. Pasta's almost done. Okay, the noodles are good enough. They are al dente, so they will continue to cook a little bit. I'm grabbing a little cup of that starch water, so I might use it later. I'm gonna dump the rest of the water out. I'm gonna dump the pasta out of the pot too. That's how you strain it. And I'm gonna just leave that over here, big chillin'. And then we're gonna pop our scrimps out of there. They're about done. And the residual heat should let them finish. You can see they're nice and pink and firm and scrumptious. Yes, shrimpy in my belly. Okay, all right. So let's get this rolling. So in our same pan, we're gonna add some sesame oil. And I'm gonna add some more butter. I like butter. And I'm gonna turn the heat up pretty high because we're gonna do our veggies next. You gotta be careful with sesame oil though, because I think it can scorch. That wasn't the play. I just wanted to eat a noodle. That's all I wanted. Okay, looks nice and hot. We'll go ahead and get our veggies sauteing up. All right, so we'll get those cooking. And hey, by the way, I forgot, we're gonna add some garlic scapes from my garden to add a depth of garlic flavor. These things are great in stir fry. We featured them before in stir fries. We did that pork and garlic scape stir fry. It was delicious. And since these are a vegetable, we'll just chop them up into bite-sized pieces and we'll saute away. Now that I have room once more on my cutting board, I will thin slice the green parts of the green onions, which we will finish our dish with. But they don't really need to cook per se. Just wilting is fine. This is a whole bunch, which is a unit of green onions. But remember, we're making a ton of food today. All right, well, I got news for you guys. And that is I'm gonna use pre-minced garlic for this dish. Because I have it, it's old and weird. So part of the reason why is that stuff gets used in restaurants. Like a lot of restaurants. So I almost feel like it's appropriate for kind of capturing, that signature flavor. So don't at me. I don't want to hear it. I don't need your lip, viewer. Probably some idiots like, should have put a can of Rotel in it. I just do want to comment that one, you can see how much the vegetables cook down. So like in the final thing, it's actually going to be a pretty spare amount of vegetables. So you can load it up to your heart's content. Kind of can't be bothered to chop more at the moment. But also bear in mind that you probably want these a little al dente as well. A little crunch is nice for the textural pairing of nice noodle and crunchy vegetable. And also when you combine things, they'll continue to cook. So maybe shoot for a little bit underdone on the vegetal. All right, I'm pretty happy with where these are. I do think they will be al dente, but that's fine. So I'm gonna actually use my pasta pot as the big mixing pot from here on out. So let's start working on the sauce. Tiny bit of sesame oil. You can do more butter. I think I'm just gonna grab some vegetable oil actually. And here's where we're gonna add. So we're gonna use a lot of garlic. If you don't think that's a lot of garlic, you're wrong. It's a lot of garlic. Look at that. Yum, yum, yum. This does not need to be on that high of heat. And what will we do next? We're gonna add some oyster sauce, which is real thick. I made that joke, I'm not doing it again. I have a bunch of soy sauce. I got low sodium because that's what the store had, but you can use whatever you want. I probably should mention that some people would consider it necessary to measure the ratio of these things. We're winging it today. I'm going rogue. Add a little bit of brown sugar. If you don't want to use brown sugar, use honey. If you don't want any sweet element in this, omit it. I'm not your dad, unless you're Arthur watching this in the future, then I am your dad. We're gonna add some Chinkiang vinegar. I think that's how you say it. Chinkiang. I think that's the Chinese black vinegar. Does that sound right? Now we're gonna get wild and crazy. We're gonna add a little fish sauce. This is totally optional, but it'll boost the umami. I'm gonna tack in some of that starchy water. So this becomes easier to coat the pasta. And I think that's it. Blast the heat on that and simultaneously taste it. Taste is good. Main taste, garlic. Should not be a surprise there. So here's the thing, particularly with this type of sauce, it will thicken, but you also need to watch it carefully because it can burn onto your pan, which is kind of a pain. So we want it to be a little bit sticky, so it coats nicely, but not so sticky that it burns. That is a preposterous amount of garlic, by the way. All right, let's see if we can. That's not really what I wanted to do, but it's okay. We'll work with it. So I'm gonna try to toss in a sauce while it's still cooking a little bit. This will have the added benefit of reheating the noodles. We can see that our noodles are starting to get shiny. They'll be all slippery and stuff, which is fun. So check this out. The sauce is pretty much completely absorbed into the noodles. And that was our goal. Got a nice coating, but if I push the pasta to one side, look at that. It's like no liquid left. It's exactly what we were going for. Okay, so all we have to do to finish this is to incorporate everything together. So noodles in the pot, get a little spatula, so no garlic left behind. It's important. Here is our shrimp. Now let me comment that it actually would have made sense for me to use some of that liquid in the sauce, particularly if I didn't feel like I had enough liquid to coat the noodles. But because I didn't incorporate it, if I dump this in, it's gonna become soggy. I'm gonna strain it off with the power of a strainer. Wow, amazing. And then that goes, and we finish with our green onion. And I'm gonna reserve just a little bit of them for final plating and garnish. Now it may actually make sense to use something other than tongs for this final incorporation. It's up to you, you can do you. I think I'm gonna grab one of those spaghetti grabber pasta tools. Is there a technical name for this? I don't know. And that looks pretty well incorporated to me. Let's go ahead and plate it up. All right, for plating, you know, similar to other pasta dishes, I think it is nice to present it with the signature swirl. And one final garnish, I think looks quite nice. All right, let's give it a taste. Noodles first. I'm quite happy with it. It's nice. It tastes kind of healthy, which like, it's not the healthiest thing in the world, but like the sauce coated the noodles very nicely. You know, it's sweet and savory, very, very garlicky. I actually did not overcook the pasta. Like it actually has like a little bit of chew to it, but in a nice way. Let's try a shrimp as well. Very good. Now one element that we did not incorporate in the dish that you certainly could would be spicy. So like chili paste. Typically you might use something like sambal oelek or sriracha, or even like Chinese chili oil would be quite good on this. So you can kind of serve that on the side too. I'll probably put out some chili oil for us to add if we want to. Super happy with this. The texture with the veggies came out great. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed watching our show today. If you like what we're doing, I'm happy to hear that. That is how you do it. We'll see you next time on PGC. See ya.